We'll go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, everybody. I hope y'all are staying cool. Um, Maybe this is a good excuse for some of you guys to just get out of the heat and into the office under the AC for a few minutes, if nothing else. Um, so today we're going to talk a little bit about. Alan's going to do some updates, just give you some fresh information on what's going on with our department and with OSHA, and then we're going to touch on the heat, illness, and prevention national emphasis program that OSHA has right now, and then we'll talk a little bit about Safety and Health Conference again as well. So, that Alan, I'm going to go ahead and let you kick it off, and we'll go from there.
All right. Have you got me? Am I coming through?
I can hear you.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, Shelley. A couple things I have on OSHA updates. One is the Safe and Sound campaign is getting ready to kick off in the month of August. It will be the week of August 12th through the 18th. OSHA is really pushing this. It's kind of a week for companies to really look at their safety and health programs and kind of evaluate where they're at, and really focus on the employees to gain knowledge of the company's safety and health programs. I did look through recently the companies in Kansas that have signed up to participate in the Safe and Sound. Thought I saw one or two of our Sharp companies in there, so that's excellent. If you have anything that you would like us to be a part of as far as a speaker or anything, just let me know, and I'll try to get somebody assigned for that week. So, like Shelley said, OSHA is currently in the middle of their heat campaign for the summer. So they are really kind of working on that right now. But I'll let Shelley talk about that in a minute. Let's see. There was a recent hazard alert issued by OSHA for H5N1 avian influenza in dairy cattle. Kansas was mentioned in that hazard alert. You can find that hazard alert at OSHA.gov publications on the H5N1 avian influenza. One of the big things that's coming down here, we're particularly paying a lot of attention to the proposal to update the existing standards on first responders, and including firefighters and rescue workers, EMTs, that sort of thing. So in February of 2024, OSHA issued a notice of proposed rulemaking to replace the fire brigade standard, which was published in 1980. The newly named emergency response standard would update safety and health protections to align them with national consensus standards for workers exposed to hazards related to fires and other emergencies. So, if any of you are involved in your local volunteer firefighters, this could pertain to you eventually. So OSHA had an initial comment period which ended May 6th, but they have expanded the public comment period twice now. And there is going to be an online hearing that will be held November 12th. That's going to be available to everybody. So, again, if this is something that may pertain to your local community, this may be something that you'd have an interest in. So we here at the Department of Labor are taking a serious interest in this new proposed standard to see how it's going to affect some of our cities, counties, volunteer firefighters, those types of things. So we've been having discussions between ourselves and the fire marshal's office in the state of Kansas to see exactly how this could affect people in the state of Kansas. So we are taking a particular interest in this proposed rulemaking, and we will probably be a part of the online hearing. Again, that's going to be November 12th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 Central Time. And again, all this information is out on the OSHA website. But like I said, it's definitely something that we're following pretty closely. Another thing that changed recently was, and I'll just kind of read off from what they said. Department of Labor today published a final rule clarifying the rights of employees to authorize a representative to accompany an OSHA compliance officer during an inspection to their workplace. So OSHA has changed the rules for those people who can walk around with them if they are doing a compliance audit. So again, the new rule, the new regulation and rule is available that kind of lets you know what people can accompany OSHA when they are at your facility doing a walkthrough. It's allowed more people to go out with the compliance officers when they're out there doing their walkthrough. So again, if that's something that might pertain to you, you certainly might want to familiarize yourself with that new standard. So some of the other things that I've been notified that OSHA's working on, there has been an update to the HAZCOM standard. Really, it's just a clarification on some of the smaller products and having better labels on them. But that was something that was just updated here recently. There's a new going to be a proposed standard on personal protective equipment in construction, and also powered industrial truck designs. They're looking at a standard update for that as well. Let me see here. So the powered industrial truck design standard update, they're expected a final rule this month. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. Last I heard, that was kind of looking like it might be pushed back a little bit. So we'll kind of wait and see whether or not we get that in August or not, or whether that gets pushed back a little bit. As we know, with these OSHA regulations, especially in an election year, sometimes they don't come out as quickly as they think they will. So, but that's definitely one we're keeping an eye on. And let's see. Some of the ones there that are kind of on the docket for later, they're talking about cranes and derricks in construction amendments. Let's see, communication towers, a lockout tagout update, walking and working surfaces again, and change in the silica rules and regulations. So again, there's a lot of things kind of percolating in the background, and things that we're watching very closely as well. OSHA has definitely been more transparent on some of the rulemakings that are coming down. So we're definitely watching these a lot closer than we have been in the past. So again, if you have any questions on anything that's coming down, certainly let our office know, and we can kind of help you along with information that we may have. So also, the final thing I'll kind of wrap up a little bit here is that we are going to be actively recruiting for some new 21D consultation positions across the state of Kansas. we've had some people leave and some retirements coming up. So we are going to be actively advertising for filling a couple of our positions. So if you have any interest in those, let me know, or keep checking your LinkedIn and wherever you get your job postings, that they should be out there. So like I said, we're going to be needing to fill some positions, so we're going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. So all right, with that, I will hand it back to Shelley and let her continue.
I want to talk a little bit about the heat NEP. So the heat illness NEP, when OSHA does come in and do this, they're using the general duty clause, the 5A1, to cite anything that they might have. So, excuse me. So there's a proposed rule coming out in August. Well, this month now. It's expected this month. So we don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I would say probably just about any time now. Once it has been posted in the Federal Register, the public is going to be able to comment on that. So once this is posted in the Federal Register, there will be a place on OSHA's website for public comments, and like any other proposed rulemaking, they do encourage public comment. So sorry. The reason that OSHA is doing this, the NEP has been in place since 2022, but they're pushing it quite a bit more now, and it's because they did a study from 2011 to 2021, and there were something like 4,000 heat-related injuries and illnesses per year within that period. And I don't recall the actual number of deaths. I think it was 400 and some. And so, OSHA is looking at how are we going to protect our workers. Let me pull something up real quick for my own benefit. Sorry. Anyway, sorry. So I apologize, guys. I really do. I had all these numbers and everything written down, but anyway, so it's important to know that the written program, while it is not required yet, there are certain things that are required of you. We're trying to put something together that has all the elements that are required, but what you're going to have to do at the very minimum is you're going to have to show in writing somehow, whether it's a written program or whatever it is, that you will provide access to water and how you plan on doing that, whether it's having bottled water available to everybody or whatever. Same thing with access to shade. You have to prove that, in other words, document that you're doing training on all this stuff. You have to show how you're monitoring the weather and doing acclimation activities. They call it acclimatization or acclimation, same thing. It's how are you making sure that you're not just throwing somebody from an office job out into the 105 degrees, without any kind of acclimation. And again, you have to have a heat response program. You have to show what you're going to do in the case of a heat emergency. So there are things that are going to be required. So in other words, the days of, well, we tell our people, to take breaks. We give them water. We provide Squencher, tell them they can take breaks, and we have posters up. That's just not going to be good enough anymore. And so we want to make sure that everybody knows and understands that. And we've been talking about this for a while now. This really isn't new. But like I said, it's that time of year, and we just wanted to kind of go over that again. So there's a lot of resources on the OSHA website. There's just, Google it. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of posters and things like that. But We have a heat illness prevention template that honestly I would like for us to work on a little bit before we bring it out to you. Now, if any of you have something really good that you would care to share, let me know and I can share it with the group as well. Um, so along those lines, one of the things that I keep pushing, and every time I see any of you, we talk about this, and that is that heat index app that you can get on your phone, the OSHA NIOSH heat index app, I think is what it's called. It's free, it's easy to download. What I like about it is it's extremely accurate. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and it pinpoints accuracy. It tells me that I'm 2 miles west northwest of Loretta, Kansas, and Loretta, Kansas is a church and about 3 houses. So it's very accurate. It shows you current conditions. It shows you what the predicted conditions are going to be throughout the rest of the day and into the evening. It shows you what the heat stress or heat illness signs are, and first aid steps on what you can do if you have that. So it's really a very good tool, and I think if anybody hasn't tried it yet, I encourage you to do so. So that said, everyone, I do apologize that I could not get that PowerPoint thing to work. My bad. I'll be better at that next time. But that's kind of it in a nutshell as far as what we're looking at with heat and the NEP. So if anybody wants to see the material that I had planned on sharing with you, let me know, and I can send you that. It's just a mishmash PowerPoint, but it does show some pretty good information on it. So that said, before we go back to talking about the Safety and Health Conference, I do have one thing I wanted to put out there. Our public sector people, our public sector supervisor reached out to me yesterday. They're doing some 10-hour training at K-State, and their environmental health and safety director was asking if anybody, I forget exactly how he put it, but they're looking for some help with root cause analysis. And they were asking Shane if he knew of anybody, and Shane reached out to me. So what I'm asking is if any of you feel like you're pretty well versed in root cause analysis, or you have a particular program or a particular way of doing that, and you would be willing to help them out. If you want to just let me know, you can shoot me an email when we get done here later, or call or something like that. And if you're willing to do it, then I can put you in touch with Shane and get you guys set up to do that. So they're looking for some help. And if anybody, like I said, if anybody feels like they're a pretty good subject matter expert, they would be really happy to visit with you. So, all right. So that said, so here we are. We're talking about the Safety and Health Conference again. Wanted to let everybody know that registration is now open for the Safety and Health Conference, so you can get in there and register. That's earlier than usual. We are still looking for a co-chair to be on the committee, and Alan, maybe you could talk about that. You're a little bit more well-versed in that than I am.
Yeah, the co-chair is not for this year, obviously, because
Right.
we're
Yeah.
too far along. We're definitely looking for a volunteer to be a co-chair for next year. Next year is going to be really exciting. It will be our 75th anniversary. It will be in Manhattan. So we're just kind of looking for somebody to kind of help out, kind of be the go-between for things like keynote speakers, possibly vendors, breakout speakers, those types of things, because the state is a little bit, we can only do so much, especially if it involves money. So we're looking for somebody to kind of be that go-between between mainly a keynote speaker and the state. So, and they just, they attend, we do probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 planning meetings, January, February, March, April, that type of thing. And just be, kind of a guiding voice, to, kind of direct us as so we don't get off track, and, kind of help us along as we prepare for the Safety and Health Conference. So that's kind of what we're looking for. It's not a huge time commit or anything like that, but it's certainly helpful for us, to have somebody in that position. So it's a volunteer position. We appreciate everything that they do, and it's it helps network and make some new contacts and those types of things. So that's kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, and thanks, Alan, for that. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that we get to see all of you there at the Safety and Health Conference. I know it's not necessarily a great time for everybody, but we sure hope to see you there. And one final thought, I just wanted to, since the last time we talked, Stan at Repco held a meeting for you guys. I did not attend, but I know a lot of you were there, and it sounded like it went over really, really well. And it's my understanding that Jeff Eubanks has volunteered to do the next one at MKC. So if Jeff or any of you, if you guys need any help trying to get that put together or whatever, let me know.
I would like to get some dates. Probably we're thinking November, December, maybe late, because harvest is coming in October. So be toward the end of the year, beginning of the following year. So if somebody has dates that would like to shoot me, and maybe we can figure out a time and get that going. So yeah.
That'd be great. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. If you guys want to, like I said, everybody's got everybody's email information and stuff. And again, I can help with whatever I need to as well. But I think that'd be great to get the group together again. And like I said, I heard nothing but good things about the last one. It sounded like it was a really good deal. So let's get something going on that. So I still have 6 minutes left, but I think we've talked about pretty much everything that we were wanting to cover.
Yeah, I'll jump in here real fast, Shelley.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I looked up my NIOSH app. We're at 98 degrees and we're in the danger zone. And currently, there is no power at my house. Hasn't been for the last 14 hours or so. We got hit pretty hard with the storm that came through last night, knocked out a bunch of power in Topeka. And so, as of right now, there's no power at my house. So there's no air conditioning, no fans. And yeah, it's, we're in the danger zone. So it's going to be a good night for me tonight. I can't wait to get home.
You can stay home to get more work done that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I may pitch a bed here in the office and just sleep here. So, Shelley and I went to the Jeeps Convy last week in Omaha, which was very interesting on some of the topics, and it really kind of hit some of the things that we're talking about. Especially hearing Jeep stands for Grain Elevator and Processing, I believe. So, one of the things they talked about was, what is the future in grain elevators? And they hit on a lot of points that, I think a lot of people are going to have to be dealing with in the next, 5 years or so. One was a shortage of labor. And how would they handle a shortage of labor, especially, some of these grain elevators I know in Kansas are in very small towns that, there's just not a lot of people there. And, what are they going to do to combat the labor force in the future? And some of the things that they were talking about were robotics and AI. And, it really got me to thinking about, the safety aspect of robotics and AI and where is that going in the future? And I think that's, one of those things that, as safety professionals, we have to kind of sit down and say, what is the future of employee safety? Or, are we switching up to look at more things like robotics, automation, AI, those types of things? So, just something to think about as we move forward, and what is the future of employee safety? I think that's something that's really going to have to be discussed within our groups over the next year to 2 years to 3 years of what is the future. So anyway, like I said, that got me to thinking last week about the future of safety, and I think we're going to kind of look at that for the next year's safety and health conference. So anyway, that's just something I wanted to throw out there to this group.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, Alan. I'm glad you brought that up, because it is getting, I know we're going to go more and more that direction as time goes on. So I think that's pretty timely there. So with that, everyone, I do appreciate everybody's time this afternoon. We will probably look at mid to late October for our next quarterly meeting on here on Teams. And so in the meantime, as always, everybody, if anybody has any questions, comments, issues, anything at all, if you're not scheduled to see me anytime soon, you can always reach out. So I hope everybody stays cool and gets through this hot period, and we will talk to y'all soon. So thanks again, everybody. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Good job.